Hi guys, thanks for watching our online assembly. We love to be in your school, but obviously we can't. So now you can just take a few moments out, just 10 minutes or so, when you can sing along to the song that we sing in school sometimes and sit back and enjoy our Bible lesson for today. So thanks for watching, and we trust that you will enjoy the assembly today.
Deserve this love you have for me. You sent your son to die upon a tree. And sometimes when I'm feeling far from you, I hear your voice calling me, and I begin to sing. God, you're good to me.
Welcome guys, thanks for watching our online assembly today. Really good to be able to speak to you. Obviously I'd rather be in your school, but things are completely bizarre and still strange. We thought that 2020 was bad, and it turns out 2021 is a little bit more of the same, but hopefully it won't be too long if we all stick to the rules and we all get our vaccinations soon. And hopefully it won't be too long before you're back at school and I'm able to come into school to see you every month or so as we normally do. I want to speak to you today about being thankful for what we actually have. Because, yeah, I know we are in lockdown and I know things are tough, but we still have got a lot of good things happening. We've still got our friends and family around about us as well. We can still see people in this way through amazing social media and through Teams and a variety of ways we can still communicate, and you can still do homework as well. But I want to take you way back hundreds of years ago when this sort of thing was just not possible. Of course, I want to speak to you about God because at our RE assemblies, we speak about God, and I speak to you about what I believe as a Christian, what the Bible says to me as well. But God actually is a God who sees us. God actually is a God who knows about us. God actually is a God who cares for us. And maybe you're saying, well, hold on a minute, Graham. How can that be the case? How can God see me and know me and care for me when I'm stuck in my house and I can't go anywhere? Well, let me tell you about a man who was in an even worse situation for yourself. Actually, not long after this world was made, the Bible tells us in Genesis chapter 1, things began to get worse and worse and worse, and people just did whatever they wanted, and they broke the rules and they disobeyed God, and God was kind of upset. And God spoke to this man, a man called Noah. Now, Noah was going to be in a lockdown situation just like you and I, but I think a lot worse. In fact, for over a year, he was stuck in one building. That's kind of bizarre. Anyway, God said, Noah, I'm fed up. How often have we said that over these past few weeks? I'm just fed up. God said, Noah, I am fed up with people on this earth doing whatever they want. I decided that I'm going to destroy this earth. I'm going to flood it. And, well, I'm fed up with it. But I want you, Noah, to build. I want you to go and build a great big boat, a great big ark. Now, at this point in time, there had never been anything like this built in the world. And Noah, with his 3 sons, they began to build this ark. What I think is amazing is God gave them exact, detailed instructions how to build this ark, what type of wood to use, what to use to make it waterproof, how many windows, how many doors, the actual size of it. It was ginormous, bigger than any football pitch you've ever seen, far bigger than that, far higher than that. God gave exact instructions because God cares. He cared for Noah and his family and their wives as well. And these men began to build, and as they were building, and as Noah was building, he was telling people, listen, I'm building this great big thing because God's going to flood this earth, and he's building it so we can go inside it and be safe. He was laughed at. People basically just took the mickey out of him, and they laughed at him, and they pointed at him, and they said, this guy's crazy. But Noah wasn't put off. He kept on building and building and building and building until they got to the stage that Noah with his sons, they stepped back and they looked at it, and standing in front of them, built by their very own hands, was the most incredible structure they'd ever seen. And actually, Noah went away and he got his wife and he said to his boys, who were called Shem and Ham and Japheth, go and get your wives, guys, and bring them here because we're going inside this great big ark. Perhaps they thought it was just for a couple of days. Maybe if they knew it was going to rain for 40 days and 40 nights, maybe if they knew they were going to be inside it for a year, then they'd be like, I don't think I'm going to go in there. Amazingly enough, everybody round about, they were all given the opportunity to come into this ark as well. They didn't come. They kept on laughing at Noah. Oh, man, you're off your head. You're crazy. God's not going to do that. Well, actually, God was going to show an even greater power. Because after Noah and his family, and they saw this ark, then the Bible says that God began to cause animals to come down to the ark and try as you might. You might find it hard to get a whole flock of sheep inside a great big ark. It's hard enough to try and get sheep out of a field or into a field, or deer or elephant or horses. There was even dinosaurs as well. They're like, actually, that's how so many of these dinosaurs were going to be wiped out, because God was going to flood the earth. And all these living creatures, apart from sea creatures, they all began to appear. Animals and birds, they all began to go inside the ark. And you can't force animals to do that. But they just went in because God planned it that way. And one by one or two by two, in they went to this ark until they were safe and secure. Then actually, amazingly enough, God closed the door of that ark. Nobody else was going to get inside it. Everybody else that had laughed at Noah, they began to say, whoa, wait a minute. That guy was right. We thought he was crazy, but he's correct, because actually, almost like water erupting from underground, and rain coming down from the sky in sheets. The earth was completely and utterly flooded. 40 days, 40 nights, constant rain. I'm sitting in my office looking outside at the rain and hearing it in the roof. But for 40 days it was torrential storm. And in the meantime, Noah was in lockdown. Noah was stuck inside this ark. You might think, wow, it's so bad being in a house with my mum and dad, or my brothers or sisters, or my granny, or whoever. But you imagine the smell of every single animal you can think of all in one place. It must be pretty disgusting. And Noah was inside there with his family for day after day after day, and perhaps looking out. And then after 40 days, the rain stopping and thinking, is this it? No. Time passed even further. Sent out some birds to try and bring some plants back, but still nothing yet. Until eventually, Noah got a sign. What was that sign? The sign was there was new life on the earth. Because as his dove come back with a branch in its mouth, its beak, Noah realized, actually, God knows about me. God hasn't forgotten about me. God sees where I am. God promised that he would bring me out of this ark, and his promise is true. Listen, God knows about your situation. God knows about my situation. I find this so frustrating. I'm sure you do as well, but God knows. And we're passing through this, and it's tough, but God cares for us in our situation. Noah waited another month. Eventually, the waters went down far enough, and he said, okay, family, gather round. Now is the time. He was going to open the door. God closed the door when he went in, and Noah was going to open that door, and the door opened, and it was like a whole, complete, transformed new world with new life growing. And now you can imagine those animals leaving. They've been, you know what it's like? When you've been in the house for a whole day or 2 days and you decide you're going to go outside, it's just such a relief to get outside. You imagine these animals have been inside for over a year, and they began to go out, and the freedom they must have had, and out they went, and they began to multiply. And Noah and his family realized that God cares for them. In fact, God showed his care by putting a rainbow up in the sky. It wasn't too long ago that we all had rainbows up in our house, wasn't it? And that rainbow quite simply means this. God said this, Noah, when you see this bow in the sky, you'll realize I'll send rain, of course, because the world needs rain, but I'll never, ever flood this earth again. Noah, I know I care about you. And that's the same for us. God cares about us. He sees us. He knows us. He understands the situation that we're in as well. And God proved how much he cares for us, but by actually giving Jesus Christ. And when we think about Jesus Christ, we just thought about his birth at Christmas time. We think about God's love and giving this greatest person ever. And that shows how much God cares. Listen, this is tough. Lockdown is tough. Lockdown 2 is tough. Who knows how long it's going to keep on going on for. But listen, I want you to be assured that God knows the situation that we're all in. And God cares for every single one of us. And the great news is that we can ask him to help us. We can ask him to care for us, because the Bible says that we can cast all our cares on him because he cares for us. So don't think you're alone in lockdown. We're all there. And don't think this is a whole new thing. Well, actually, it happened to Noah as well. Have a wonderful day. Try as hard as you can. Keep on washing your hands. Listen to the messages and stay safe. And God bless.